people that are in power, that he doesn't really have to worry about it because he's already in control of it. So what happens is the 90% of people who are carrying the burden here are really, the vast majority of all of us, because we're the guys who are making somewhere between, poverty and a decent living. And we're expected to carry the weight for everybody.
No, that's exactly right. And I'll go one step further and say they want the 47, 48, 50% who are carrying the load for everybody not to have the time to focus on it. Because if we did, we would be unhappy. They are thrilled that we are too busy just trying to pay the bills to focus on what they're doing, because their captive voter blocks, which are the crony capitalists and the people on government programs, will turn out reliably for them.
There you go. Boy, oh boy. We got to take a break, Bill, because it's quarter after the hour, and radio. You've been on it enough times that you probably are familiar with the format. Capitalism at work here, right?
I think I could host one by now.
Well, you can't have my job unless you want to take it for free, because they don't pay me anything to be here. So, but I'll be right back with Bill Randles, folks. We're going to take a quick break. I'll give out our phone numbers when we come back. If you've got questions that you'd like to ask Bill, by all means, feel free to do that. And we'll be right back after this break. Make sure I can chat with him. Okay, Bill, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Gotcha. Okay. We see eye to eye on a lot of issues. I'm a very, very hardcore libertarian, I guess you would call me, because I'm not biased. I hate all politicians. I don't care what ilk they're from. To be honest with you, my theory on politics is if you've been in office more than a couple of years, it's time for you to get out.
I'd say politicians are like milk and eggs. They don't improve with time.
Absolutely. They're also like diapers. We got to change them frequently and for the same reason. Looks like we're coming back on. How much time? 10 seconds.
.org. That's actagainstaids.org. A public service message from United Health Foundation, Act Against AIDS, and this station.
Oh, yeah. Get jiggy with it. We're getting jiggy with Bill Randles this morning, folks. Bill, that's you're not close enough to listen to the station, but we like the Getting Jiggy With It song. Bill's running for governor, folks, and he's running on the Republican ticket. He is a conservative, a Republican who believes in solutions, according to his website, which happens to be BillRandles.com. And I'm going to spell that last name for you. It's RANDLES. So it's Bill, RANDLES.com. You listeners know I'm a firm advocate of getting on the line and educating yourselves. So get on that website, find out what Bill's platform is, read about it, and then get involved. Get over there. If you believe he's the right guy, then I don't care whether you log on there and you participate. I'm sure he's got places where you can go over there and sign up to be a volunteer, make robocalls, put a sign in your front yard, lick stamps, stuff envelopes. I don't care what you do. If you believe he's the right guy, then participate. Or shut up and get out. Okay, Bill, I'm sorry. That's my pitch.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Welcome back to the show.
Thanks.
Folks, I advocate that. Go over to BillRandles.com and don't take my word for it. Read it for yourselves. Okay, so let's talk about CID zones. Can we chat about that for a minute?
Sure.
I hate these things. We got one here in town, and we're in West Plains, where there's a large shopping area here, and all the landowners around that sit on the CID zone board, and this is an extra tax that's on top of the normal sales tax for that area, and that money is used for the improvement of that property. Unfortunately, they privately own all the property. So basically what we're doing is, instead of allowing capitalism to work and they have to improve their property to be able to, sell it or lease it or build on it for a better improved value for it, we're paying to do the improvements on it. And to me, what the part that really bothers me about it is that it's not voluntary. It's a mandatory tax. You can't avoid it. And if you've been around this state enough, you know that that small commerce hub in any town, in these rural communities, is the only place to buy stuff. If you've got to buy toilet paper and food and a lawnmower or a rake or a pair of blue jeans, you've got to go to these places because there's no other place to go. And these CID zones, in my opinion, are a hidden tax, and it's unfair because we're sitting here paying a private landowner to improve their property for their personal benefit. I don't like that.
I think it's ridiculous. Look, I believe in the free market, and that means as a landowner, I think you should have the maximum discretion to do whatever you want with your property. I'm not a fan of restrictions on property use. I think they should be minimal at most. On the other hand, with that freedom comes responsibility, and the responsibility is you make your own way. Look at it from the position of the landowners. They see free money.
Right. Who's going to say no to that?
Yeah, they see a teller's window open at government. Of course they're going to line up. This is exactly the same issue in principle at work as TARP, the corporate bailouts, and everything else.
Sure.
If a businessman sees free money, he's going to go get it because he says to himself, if I don't, my opponent will.
Right.
So the obligation of government is to close the teller's window.
Well, and in addition to that, at least at absolute bare minimum, they can't sit on the board.
Well, it's preposterous. You know what?
That's like asking the fox with blood on his lips and feathers hanging out of his mouth where all the chickens went. And he says, heck, I don't know.
I agree with you, but you know what? If you leave the teller's window open, like our current governor, they will just pour money into him and still get the same special privileges. You have to elect officials and have a clear message from the people. The teller's window is closed. We believe in capitalism, and you capitalists need to act like capitalists.
Right.
Not closet socialists yourself. And we have to enforce that. And we've come a long way down this road. Look, everybody but the taxpayer wins here, right? Because
everybody but the taxpayer. That's the key operative phrase right there.
Exactly. The landowner wins. He gets free money and then gets to charge the consumers with his business. The politician wins because politicians love to have people have to come to them for favors,
right?
Because that gives them greater power and job security.
Not to mention it massages their marshmallow ego.
Absolutely. So this is a set of perverse incentives that if the people paying the bills, the taxpayers, don't rise up and fix it, the participants aren't going to because they love it.
Absolutely. It's all the emphasis on the wrong syllable. I mean, let's get realistic. We're doing everything backwards, as to the way it should be.
This is an example of government out of control, and the adults, the taxpayers, have got to take the keys away from the people who are abusing it.
Well, it's also a perfect example of corporatocracy at work, right? This is when corporations have such an influential effect on government that the government starts to now represent corporations and business instead of the actual individuals that are under that are the people of whatever that given district or zone or whatever is. I mean, it's no different in a state than it is in a federal government than it is in a county or a city. It's all the same.
It's the same principle.
We're in a corporatocracy where government is now at the behest of its donors and its corrupting influence of money. That nothing is done that's to the benefit of the people. It's all adheres to the benefit of whoever's got the most money. It's shameful.
Take the governor's race that I'm in right now with Jay Nixon. If you took away the money he has in his campaign account from unions, trial lawyers, and crony capitalists, people that have given him money and he's given them state contracts, tax credits, direct results, he'd be broke.
Yeah.
He'd have nothing. And so it is a system which feeds on itself. And what you have to do, in my opinion, to fix it, is elect people whose highest goal in life is not a government job.
Right.
Who want to go up there, fix it, and go home. Because I believe those are the only people that will have the nerve to cut their actual power and to cut down the actual role of government. Because the people who want to build an empire for life,